Hi, it's Harriet. I wanted to come on and address the National Peanut Board ad. Like everyone else in food allergy world, I saw that big ad, and I've seen the fallout from it. I wanted to take a very short time to address it. Many people have said that the information in it is not factual. Unfortunately, for those who say it's not factual, the current data that has been coming out continuously basically says for the majority of people with a peanut allergy that the risk is not present. Is that true? Are there outliers? Could there be a few outliers? 100%. But to claim that the peanut board was lying and making up stuff when you have study after study after study by multiple different allergists saying the same thing, you kind of can't call it a lie. You can look back at a study from 2003. Many people disputed that when Dr. Shisher and a few other doctors were actually putting peanut butter on people. And then they also, but that was a very small study. There was a study that was released about 2 years ago called the Proximity Challenge. And it was encouraged that allergists should offer this proximity challenge to alleviate the anxiety that patients and their families feel being near their allergens. And the data that came out from from AAAI, which I posted their tweet, which Dr. Young spoke about it, saying that you need actual ingestion for anaphylaxis, came out. So basically, plus there's been stuff on FAIR, there's stuff on FACT, all this saying that casual exposure is low risk. Not no risk, but low risk. And that's important to note because they didn't say anything that was not factual. The other thing is that if we are seeing all these people with all these airborne allergies, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, then it's on the patient and the parent to demand that doctors do more studies or report it more, because the data doesn't exist to support all these claims that we see in Facebook land. We don't see it in the actual data, hard data, but you see it on Facebook or Twitter. Now, in terms of airborne reactions, which is really important, I think allergists, I think the explanation of food allergies needs and how reactions happen and what are the different types of reactions, I think allergists need to do a better job at explaining this to their patients. Again, there's outliers in all realms, but then when you look at the bulk of things, you can come up with a clear picture. So can airborne reactions happen? Yes, they can. And if you look at the studies and the documentation that have even come out from doctors, it has to do with how things are, what their state is. So steaming releases the allergen into the air. Powder, so that means like physically cracking the shells, or powdered cheese or flour will release the proteins into the air as well. As far as contact, any kind of stuff with, like mayo or cream cheese or sun butter or soy butter or peanut butter or whatever butter, the risk is still the same. The proteins still stay the same. What I'm seeing in groups, and it may not be true and it may not be true at all, but it seems people don't understand the difference between a reaction and a serious reaction. Getting localized hives, or coughing a bit, or runny nose in itself is not what is anaphylaxis. And I think doctors really, really need to explain to patients what is considered a serious, severe reaction, and what are milder types of reactions that can happen. Like in the studies, they showed that maybe you'll get a welt where the peanut butter touched your skin, or you could get if milk touches your skin, or if egg touches your skin, or whatever allergen. But that it doesn't, they have not found it progressing full on to anaphylaxis. So I would say, instead of being angry at the peanut board, because all they did really was reiterate facts of what medical science has already put out and what many doctors are saying. And I'd like to plug a couple books, actually. Read Food Allergies, Eating When Your Life Depends on It by Dr. Shisher. And Dr. Young has a peanut allergy book as well. Both are very informative and address these issues in their book. A lot of this, it is anxiety provoking to be near your allergen, and I don't dispute that, because believe me, I don't want my kids near their allergens if someone's sitting next to them. So like a buffer zone would be nice. But I think people don't realize that many of us, and I say this all the time, live in a world surrounded by our allergens every single day. Kids are eating goldfish all the time. Teenagers are eating Doritos all the time. Every teen is eating pizza every day. There's school that's serving pizza. So it's kind of nice to say you can't have one allergen and it's all good, but many of us are living around our allergens and we know what precautions to take. Again, I think the big thing is for us to ask more from the medical community to document what we're seeing in social media and have them follow up on that, because again, nothing that the peanut board said was not factual. It was true based on current medical information. Now, I know some have made some claims that the doctors on the board are paid off or whatever. Just know that multiple allergists came to the same conclusion in different studies and not affiliated with them. So it's kind of hard when multiple studies say the same thing. Again, can there be outliers? There are 100%. But again, what we need is, we don't need this anger at the peanut board, because first of all, they're the biggest donors to food allergy research. Let's be very clear about that. And they are partners with FACT. And I know they used to be involved with FAIR. They are not the enemy. No other allergen lobby is contributing to any other research. The other thing is that this is not where we need to put our energy. They did not intend that ad for the peanut allergic consumer. That ad was just for the general public. And it was basically to say, it's really sad that you got rid of peanuts. And the truth is, peanuts were actually protected by law on airlines. So this is very bold what happened. But what I'm saying is that we're misplacing this energy. This energy and this anger really needs to be put on the public and the community to educate that peanuts are not the only allergen, and that we need better overall food allergy awareness. We need better overall food allergy policy that's inclusive and fair for all. We need to educate that any food can cause anaphylaxis. So we really need overall education. Let's take the focus off our anger at an ad that was never directed to us in the first place, and that was based on scientific, factual studies. You may not agree with it, but you can't fight what if you go looking for the studies, what it says. So let's really come together as a community and start advocating not for one food or being upset about this group or that group, but let's start demanding equal awareness, equal policy, equal awareness that every allergen is just as deadly as the next one or dangerous. And let's really shift our focus, not from the fear, but from information, from factual information, and to demand more factual information, and to work on our communication with our providers and ask them to alleviate the fears and the concerns that the newly diagnosed food allergy parent has, and not to rely on social media so much, but to have a conversation and to get the actual information out. And with that, I will leave you.